Yeah, you want to check it out. Good afternoon, folks. My name is Kurt Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. Purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I'll determine if there's probable cause for those charges. Probable cause essentially means that it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, and more likely than not that you're the person who committed that crime. Of course, as you stand before me this afternoon, I presume that you're innocent of these allegations. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings, unless and until the state attorney's office can prove the allegations against you to beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We'll set your conditions of pretrial release this afternoon. That is your bail or your bond. In most cases, you've got a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit, or the warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be. If you'd like to have the services of a public defender, I'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you this morning. You do have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you haven't had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, I have a pair of assistant state attorneys in the courtroom with me today. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. I now need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. You all solemnly swear or affirm, tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Outstanding. When you hear your name called, please step forward to the podium. Rich, is there somebody in particular you're here for?
I'm here for Mr. Ronald Laverty, Judge.
All right. Ronald Laverty. Morning, sir, or afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
4/29/69.
All right. And you're here on a warrant signed by Judge Merritt. He found probable cause for one count of burglary of an occupied dwelling. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. State with me, so.
I already he's got a rather lengthy history. In addition, he's already under a DOC sentence.
Oh, okay. What's he got pending on DOC?
He was sentenced out of Port St. Lucie on several different burglary charges. I believe to an 18-year sentence last month.
Okay. All right. Oh, sure enough. All right. So, Ronald, I'm going to set a bond of $50,000. You can't obviously bond out because you got a DOC sentence. You'll be back in court on the 1st of February. Public defender will come see you before then, all right?
All right.
That concludes my business.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
What do you think of the new coach? We'll see.
Remains to be seen.
We'll see. Young, you know?
Very young.
Hopefully that's better than Pagano or somebody like that. Kimberly Bramer. Ms. Bramer, what's your date of birth?
February 19th, 81.
Kimberly, you're here on a warrant that Judge Rupi signed. She found probable cause for a violation of probation. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
I have an attorney, John Castro.
Okay. Does Mr. Castro know where you are this afternoon?
Yes, he does.
Okay. Did he tell you he was planning to attend?
He was supposed to be getting in front of the judge, he told me, so I couldn't confuse why he's not.
I'm the judge, and I can tell you there's no one in front of me.
I know.
Yeah. I can also tell you, I don't wish to stop you from being irritated with him if that's your desire, but I can tell you it's not likely that he would have been able to do much at this stage of the proceedings to change your situation. In any event, you plan to continue with him?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Your option, if you're gonna, you should talk to him. The bond on Judge Rupi's warrant is no bond. I'm not going to change that. You're going to be back in front of her on February 6th. Mr. Castro should get a hold of the state. He should get a hold of you, because if there's a way to resolve your case for less than the 45 days that probation has recommended, he should be able to get in front of Judge Rupi or myself, quite frankly, earlier if that can be done. But you have to communicate, and he has to communicate with the state, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Melissa Geip. Afternoon, Ms. Geip. What's your date of birth?
2/10/1985.
All right. office. I have first. I have a warrant for you signed by Judge Merritt. I have two signed by Judge Merritt. Both of them are for VOPs. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
Appoint the public defender in each of your cases. Of course, the bond on the warrant is no bond. I can't change that. I'll send you back to see. Looks like you got sentenced by Judge Toner. Does that sound familiar?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to send you back to see him on the 1st of February, and the public defender will come see you at the jail before you go to court again, okay?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Sarah Munyon? Afternoon, Sarah. What's your date of birth?
October 3rd, 1979.
So you got two charges today: battery on a law enforcement officer and resisting arrest without violence. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender, please.
I'll appoint the PD, State.
Your Honor, it says that she's a multi-state offender. There was an action filed in Florida for possession of marijuana with intent to sell and possession of drug equipment. As to the out-of-state, sorry, okay. We've got 2008 failure to appear, 2010 drug possession, 2012 operating a motor vehicle after license suspended, and OUI in 2013, so under the influence.
Sarah, I have an address for you on Pinehurst. Is that where you live?
Not anymore.
Okay, where do you live now?
I got evicted by my boyfriend.
Okay, where
That's
do you...
what this.
Well, I understand all that. Do you know where you're going to be?
I have friends,
Okay.
but I don't have their phone number, so I'm probably going to be here.
Okay.
I'm sorry, sir.
That's okay. Yeah, do you have a job these days?
No, I don't.
Okay. On the battery, I'll set the bond at $2,000. On the resisting at $1,000, so your total is $3,000. I'll have you back in court on the 1st of February. If you're able to bond out, you should contact the public defender right away, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Stephanie Merwin?
She bonded, Your Honor.
Oh, awesome. I love 1 o'clock first appearance. Adam Crossley? Morning, Adam. What's your date of birth?
11/21/78.
Adam, the charge is grand theft. There's probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, you're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll point to PD, State.
Your Honor, the state's asking to RCO Mr. Crossley on, looks like a grand theft case, 2018. No, that's this one.
What's the case number?
Is it 2018 CF 616?
Judge, I would note that the date of incident on the new case is October 31st, so it's a pretty good ways back.
Judge?
Hang on
Your
one
Honor.
second. Hang on one second,
Okay.
Adam. You have the option of not saying anything, and we try to keep it that way if we can, right? So just hang on.
Your Honor.
Yes?
Sorry, that was me. He got sentenced on that case today.
Oh, he's sentenced today?
Yes, he got sentenced to probation,
Okay.
2 years probation.
Okay. Well, then we don't have to RCO him, do we?
Very well.
Any history other than that?
His history is December failure to appear.
Okay.
2018, he got PTI for 2 counts of possession of controlled substance. He has an adjudication for petty theft in 2017, tampering with electronic equipment in 2017, and another petty theft in 2017, driving while license suspended 2015, and a withhold in 1997 on possession of alcohol.
Okay. Adam, I have an address for you on Roble Avenue in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
No, it's changed.
Okay. Where do you live now?
12560 Linden Drive.
Okay. How long have you lived on Linden?
Almost a year now.
You have a job these days?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
Deliver mattresses.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. Let's set your bond at $500. That seems to be the detective's request. So I'll set it at $500. I'm going to have you back in court on the 1st of February. Make sure you contact the public defender if you bond out, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Brennan Korth Loader. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
4/15/97.
Got 2 warrants for you today, both of them that I signed. In each case, I found probable cause for a violation of probation. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. Can I hire private counsel? Would you like the public defender?
Public defender, sir.
I'll appoint the public defender. The bond, of course, is no bond. I'm not going to change that. I will change your date. I'm going to have you back in front of me on the 1st of February. They told you the 6th. I'll have you back on the 1st. And the PD will come see you before then, okay?
All righty, perfect.
Thank you. Edward Thompson.
Yes.
Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
March 4th, 1966.
Edward, the charge is assault being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. State.
Your Honor, this is a single source offender. In 2010, he had a DUI. 2008, disorderly intoxication. 2005, domestic battery. There was a battery that was null pros in 2002, and there was a battery that was dropped in 2002. Reckless driving in 2001. An adjudication for battery in 2000. DUI, 2000. Aggravated assault, 1996. It was dropped.
Edward, I have an address for you on Fairlawn Street in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes.
How long have you lived there?
6 months.
All right. Is that where Stephen has been living as well?
Yeah, he rents a room.
Okay. And you have a job these days?
I own a house. That's my income. It's that rent.
Okay. Are there other renters besides your brother?
No, I want to get more, but I got to do a lot of repairs and painting and stuff.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll set your bond at $500. Condition of the bond, however, is that you have no contact with Stephen. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message. You don't contact him through any social media. Don't have a third person contact him. Don't go where he lives. Don't go where he works. Don't have any contact of any kind. Any way that you might imagine contacting him, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and we find out about it, your bond can be revoked and you can be held without bond until the charge is resolved. It means no contact even if he wants to contact. So if you answer your phone and hear his voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see him, you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand that he cannot drop the charges against you. That's not a decision he gets to make. He may go to the state attorney's office and ask them to drop the charges. He may tell them he's not interested in pursuing this matter. But that decision belongs solely to the assistant state attorney who will be handling your case. So unless that person or the judge on your case tells you that the charge has been dropped, you should assume it's not dropped and you should not have contact. In addition, I have to hold you yet this afternoon up until 4 p.m. so that if you wanted to serve you with a civil injunction for protection against domestic violence, we'd know where to get you. If you get the civil injunction, it's doubly important that you not have contact, because in that case, not only would you get your bond revoked here, but you'd get new charges for violating the injunction. Now, as far as that address on Fairlawn goes, if he continues to stay there until we get this case resolved, you'll have to stay someplace else until we can get things resolved. You can go by one time to grab your clothes, your toothbrush, whatever you need for wherever you're going to stay until the case is taken care of. But to do that, you've got to contact the sheriff's office first. They'll meet you there with a deputy who will stand by while you grab your things and get going where you're going. You'll be back in court on February 6th. Very important that you contact the public defender when you get out, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. James Waldron. I Want to start with
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
what's your date of birth?
10/22/1966.
James, the charge is battery being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire a private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender, please.
Appoint the PD, state.
Just this, Your Honor.
And James, I have an address for you on Trout Circle in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
3 years.
You have a job these days?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
2 of them. Store manager for Speedway, and I work part-time for Dick's Sporting Goods.
Okay. All right. I'm going to also set your bond at $500. Condition of the bond is that you have no contact with Carolyn Wegner. Did you hear me explain no contact just a moment ago?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Also going to hold you up until 4 p.m. If she wants to serve you with an injunction, we know where to find you. You'll be back in court on February 6th. Very important that you contact the public defender when you get out, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Sean Wilkerson. Afternoon, Sean. Date of birth?
3/5/84.
Sean, you're hearing a warrant signed by Judge Toner. He found probable cause for violation of probation. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
I've already retained private counsel.
Okay. Who'd you hire?
Ashley Holmes.
Okay. Mr. Halls know where you are today?
I honestly don't think he does.
Okay.
According to, I was brought in Hernando County on the 21st of December and given a court date of January 16th. And apparently I was not charged until last night,
Okay.
which is the reason why I'm at first appearance today. I don't think he's aware that I'm here at all.
Well, looks like you got arrested originally on a driving on a suspended license, and that's the basis of this VOP.
Right, and that was in Lake County. And then I was transferred from Lake County to Hernando County on the 21st of December.
Okay.
And I've been in Hernando County since then.
Okay.
With an original court date of January 16th. Which Ashley was, he is aware of that. He's already come to the jail and we spoke already. So I'm kind of confused as to why I was just now charged last night and at first appearance today, and whenever I've been here for 19 days already.
Well, I don't have an answer for you, but hang on. There it is. You're right. They set you for the 16th. So the bond is no bond. I'm not going to change that. We'll keep that date, which is January 16th. Obviously, you guys know about that, and you've spoken about that. So that's this charge, but that's where you'll be in court on next week. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. And Kurt Gator. Kurt, what's your date of birth?
3/18/80.
The charge is resisting without violence. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender, please.
I'll take the PD. And you've got some open cases in drug court right now. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then state what other history does he have?
There's a PTI for aggravated stalking in 2017. Aggravated assault with a deadly weapon in 2016 was also placed on, I guess, the same PTI. And a second count for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon on that PTI.
Kurt, how long have you been in drug court?
I'm in phase 3, so about a couple of years. Since 2016.
Okay.
state is asking to RCA.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do it. Let's see. There's drug court on Thursday, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Okay. So what I'm going to do on this charge, Kurt, I'm going to set the bond at $1,000. Is this something, Dave? Can I send this to drug court?
No.
I can't. I have to keep.
No, we have to go through the.
Sir, I have court on Thursday.
Hey, I know you do. Hang on. Okay.
I think this one needs to track to just a regular.
Misdemeanor docket. All right. So this one, Kurt, I'm going to set a bond of $1,000. This one's coming back on the 6th of February. But then with your drug court cases, which are 16 CF 1339 and 16 CF 2401, pursuant to Florida Statute 903.0471, I'm going to revoke your pretrial release in those two cases. Since you're coming back on the 10th on those anyway, right? You were doing court on Thursday, right, for drug court?
Yes.
So you'll stay in jail now until then, and then we'll leave it to Judge Scaglione's sound discretion what to do with you with those cases, if he wants to let you back out or have you do some sanction time or whatever he wants you to do. But you'll stay where you're at till Thursday, and then you'll be in drug court on Thursday, and Judge Scaglione will figure it out from there, all right?
Okay.
All right, thank you. Anybody else, Jail?
That's it, thank you.
Awesome, thank you.